Hello everyone, I'm just Jen. Well, Jen, this is the Just Jen show. And this will be my introductory show for YouTube, and then I'll share it everywhere else. Um, I have started a new path in my life, and I've decided to turn it into a show to where I'll be talking about topics all across the board. I started doing things like this a couple years ago, uh, with the scamdemic and everything. Was in the political world with it because I was a truth seeker, independent, patriotic truth seeker, and I have recently decided to go elsewhere with this. And uh, as a single mom of two tours, I'll explain that in a minute. Things have just dramatically changed in the last 2 months for me, and I want to start this first show by talking about that a little bit. I'll have to tell you a little bit of my history, but for future shows, I will be talking about anything that y'all want to talk to me about, or right now it's a pre-recording, so you'll have to see the show and leave me comments, and then I'll answer them in the next show. Unless something changes before then, I'll have my first live show in July, where I'll have my guest, my first guest. I'll have two. I'll have my first guest, my awesome aunt, Miss Sybil Marie Presley, and she's coming for a visit. Why? Because I'm going to be a first-time nana. My granddaughter is due to be born in July, and we're gonna be a house of mom, my daughter, and her daughter are all July birthdays, and so that's pretty cool. So I'll introduce my new grandbaby Rose. But anyway, I want to show y'all something, and then we'll get started. Hang on just a second. Let me get the view right. Okay, y'all see this? That's me. 33-day difference. As you'll see, the first picture was taken on March 3rd of this year, and the second picture was taken on April 5th of this year. And I've been told it looks like two different people. Would y'all like to know how and why? I'm going to tell you about it. Be right back. Hang on. Whoops. Forgot to turn the camera around. Okay. Good evening, everybody. It is April the 20th, 2023. And as I said before, I'm Jen. And I have just started this new show because I am a person who believes in conversation over silence. I'm a very open person. I've had a long, hard life, and, I'm no better or worse than anyone else. It's just, it is what it is. So, how did that picture happen? Oh my God. The trials to get to where I am today. I'm a much happier, much healthier person who is alive again. And guess what? I'm going to be 60 in July. Can't believe it myself. A few months ago, I was thinking, oh God, I'm on this downhill slide. It's just going to be, do what I can, tired all the time, excitement in life's gone. Yeah, well, not anymore. I'm proud to have made it this far. I'm grateful to have made it this far. And I want to tell you a little bit about my past. When I was 17 years old, before and after graduation, I had 2 car accidents. I don't know how I survived. Okay, the first one happened in March before high school graduation. I was 17. This was back in '81. And I had just taken my senior portraits, getting ready for graduation. And I'd taken my senior portraits. I went home, put my uniform on. I worked for a fast food company right next to my school. And on the way back to work, I get hit head on. Had an LTD station wagon and a little Volkswagen Bug just took that sucker out. Yeah. I wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which I was told at the time, and it's kind of ironic that we are required to wear seatbelts today, and I don't disagree with that, people. But I wasn't wearing a seatbelt and was told if I had been, it probably would have paralyzed me from my neck down. And luckily, that didn't happen. If I had survived, I'd be paralyzed, but they figured I probably wouldn't have survived it if I had my seatbelt on because of the way I was hit. Spun my car around like 5 times. It was hit really hard. But what happened was my face went through the passenger side corner of the windshield. At the time, all I remembered was waking up with my face in the windshield and the pain of them pulling me out of it, and then a white cloth going over my face, and that's all I remember. I was in a coma for 3 days. What it turned out to be was that my chin was sitting in my throat. This whole side of my face right here was what it had hit the dash on the way to the windshield, so it was all crushed. They had to rebuild my face. So the fact that I'd had my senior portraits that morning was wow, because the day that I walked across the stage for graduation, and that was a trial in itself, making it to graduation, because I had to make up for all the work I'd missed for being in the hospital for 6 weeks. The day I walked across the stage that morning, I actually got the wires cut to where I could open my mouth. I still had the braces on teeth that they were trying to save, but I had snipped the wires that morning and actually was able to say thank you with my mouth moving for graduation when I got my diploma. So that was a grand thing at that point. But I lost a lot. It wasn't just my face that got hurt, but that was the main thing that happened there. Until after graduation. After graduation on July 3rd, it was the 4th of July weekend, my friend and I, we left the same place of work. I went back to work eventually. We left our place of employment. We had just gotten paid, and we had gotten raises in our paychecks. We were having a grand day, and we were headed home to pack to go to a weekend party for 4th of July. And we had to go across the bay. It was kind of like a camping trip type thing. We were so excited. And at the time, I drove one of those Pintos that were eventually recalled because they had a habit of blowing up. Yeah. We were less than a mile to pulling into a gas station to fill our tank up. Right? But before we made it, we saw a red Corvette convertible coming down the hill doing this. We couldn't get out of the way. I tried to put it in reverse, and luckily I'd got it in neutral by the time they hit us. It was traffic, rush hour traffic. Somebody started partying earlier, got behind a wheel drunk, and we were the target, I guess you could say. They hit us head on, and the way they were swerving and everything, they hit us head on and then spun around and hit us from the back. And we are both grateful to be here, because if we had had a full tank of gas, we would have blown up in that car accident. But what it did do was, my best friend at the time, she broke her wrist trying to brace herself on the dash. She broke her wrist, and her forehead got the split all the way across the front. I mean, it just, whoa, opened up. And I didn't even know I was hurt. I saw the blood coming from her, and I was more concerned about her than I was myself. And putting my hand over her head, right? And then she says, "Oh my God, your leg." And I look down, and my right leg, those bolts that hold on your steering column, they stick down, like something like that. One of them was in my right knee. Crushed it. Today, I have 2 pins holding a little less than dime-sized kneecap. Never understood why they left it there. But, yeah, we survived it. Rebroke my jaw, a lot of other broken body parts, like the first accident. I spent another 6 weeks in the hospital because of this accident. Folks, I'd like to take a second to say, please, if you're going to have a drink, just one, please don't get behind a wheel. I'm someone who survived it, and my heart breaks for all those who don't. So you're not only taking your life in your hands, you're taking their life in your hands, someone else's life in your hand. I was 17 years old. I was due to go in the Army that November. I had spent 7 years preparing to be enrolled in the Army, enlisted in the Army. I had already taken my oath, my first oath. I had already passed my physicals with flying colors, made the highest score in 6 months in my area on the testing, and was going in as a OR specialist. I would have been, today's Margaret Houlihan at some point. Yeah, I'd planned my life out to be in the Army. And why? Because a lot of my family was in the military, full of veterans, right? My dad was in Vietnam. My grandfather was in World War I. He actually was stationed in Japan for 2 years, when my mother was 10. Yeah, I was proud to, serve my country and follow in that line in my family. And because of that drunk driver, it didn't happen. Okay, I had this first accident too, after I'd taken my oath, but they approved me because it was just my face that affected my abilities to do anything. I still had my limbs working properly and everything, even though I had broke bones. They healed, but it was my face that was the major thing, and it was just my face. So they were going to let me go, but then when the drunk driver hit me head on, they took my leg out and told me I'd never walk right again. So literally, I did walk right again for a minute, but I was never able to run. So they wouldn't let me back. So I had lost my complete career that I had trained for 7 years prior. I lived military. I went to, I graduated in high school as a cadet major. I was in control of, I was an S2 officer in control of the armory and publicity. So, yeah, it took me down a deep dark hole for a minute there, but I came out of it because I've always been a positive person. I've always looked forward, not behind. The past is only good for what? Memories and lessons. If you regret your past because of a decision you made or because of something that happened, please change that into a lesson. Your life forward will go much better if you can look back and say, I learned that lesson. I should have made the choice of doing this and not that. Or maybe I shouldn't have been there. And, accidents happen. I mean, look at the car accidents. They happen. But in hindsight, um, maybe I was doing something wrong in life and it happened. I don't know. But, one of the good lessons I learned from that was don't drink and drive, right? So, we can't go through life and not have things happen to us. And I realized that, at a very young age, uh, because of the life I've had. Um, I've never had any, family support because of who my parents were and where they were and things like that. Uh, my grandmother and grandfather played a very important role of shaping my moral outlook. So, yeah, I learned a long time ago that it's not the issues in life that get you, it's how you choose to react and or deal with what happened. And having a positive outlook. I mean, yeah, you got to spend your time and deal with it, but having a positive outlook, knowing that tomorrow will come, believing that tomorrow will come, it plays a big role in that. Anyway, back to my story. Um, whew, after losing my ability to go into the Army, um, me being a worker since I was a little girl. I mean, I was raised on a cattle ranch in Oklahoma. That was the grandest. I didn't even know what a grocery store was till I was 6. We literally lived off the ranch, right? Um, yeah. So I came out of it a little while later. I had spent another 6 weeks in the hospital, so um, I didn't graduate with the same face I had because of the first accident, and then my plans had to change for the rest of my life because I wasn't going to be in the Army again. So, life got better. I was never ever able to run again. And then, because I had a bum knee, I used my left knee, my left leg to support the right one. And after time, that one got bad too because it was doing double work. So, anyway, beyond that, as of 83, I became a mother with my son, David. And when he turned 18, I turned 38 right after that in July. He was born in May. Right after that in July, I turned 38, and the next day had my daughter, Lexi. So, in saying that, I claim, and I've lived as having 2 tours of single parenthood. Yeah. So I've been mom for 40 years, right? Uh, that was a lot. Um, the things that happened along the way, it was really hard because my son's father turned out to be a deadbeat. He never spent a day after my son turned a year old. Well, a couple of days after a year old, he chose not to be a dad. So I was a single mom. And raising a boy in this world, oh boy, that was tough, especially when you didn't have a support system, right? But luckily, I had good work ethics, a good financial sense, and my kids came first, right? So when he turned 18 and I had my daughter, that was a very salt and pepper time, right? Or sugar and spice time. I don't know how to describe it. 6 weeks before my daughter was born, her father died. And that was hard because 6 weeks later to the day, she was born. So again, here I go. My son is grown. And here I go on my second tour of single parenthood. So, with all that said, that's part of what my show's going to be like. About. I've been a working single mom for 40 years. Well, until I became disabled legally because of another injury that happened in 95. I have damaged and compressed nerves in my back, which affects my mobility even more. And then for 30 years, I've had fibromyalgia. About 12, 13 years ago, I found out that I had undiagnosed whiplash from the car accidents when I had them at 17. So now today I have a bulging disc, and then next to it no disc, because I have degenerative disc disorder. So that's affected a lot along the way. Being young, like I was with my son, I was able to work, and I was always a workaholic. He was my daycare baby because I worked and also went to school. Sometimes I worked up to 3 jobs at a time, going to school too, to learn how I was, let's see, what I go to school for. I went to school for computer operation, right? I was one of the first people, personal computers came out in 81. I was one of the first people that had one. So in order to, move forward professionally, I went to school to get certified in computer operation. From that, I got a job at a trucking company due to my graduation from the computer school. And got a job at a trucking company, and my job was to connect all the departments, make them work efficiently together, and I have the kind of mind that can do that. And then add the computer system to it. So, yeah, that was a really awesome job. But during my first week there, I actually had a storage closet cleaned out and turned into my office. so painting and all that and everything in this office. It's the first time I'd worked around trucking. Well, my dad taught me how to drive a truck. He was a trucker. My dad taught me how to drive a truck a long time before, and that just wasn't the path I wanted, so I never got my license, my CDLs, or anything like that, but I knew how to drive one. So anyway, starting this job, I got a little allergy problem because I was in an enclosed space when I tried to paint this office, so I kept coming in and out. But when I came out of my new office, I was going out into the shop because I was learning the business so I could learn to connect it all. And I'd go out into the truck shop, and then I'd go out to the paint booths behind that, getting to know people, getting to know what's going on, and getting familiar with it. Well, because I hadn't lived in or worked in petroleum areas, the greases, the oils, even the diesel, I got a severe sinus infection within 3 days, and I spent 3 days in the hospital. That's how bad it was. And from that moment on, I've had sinus issues from then on. Every spring, every fall, every dusty room I went into, it attacked me. And I'm not talking just sneeze a few times, runny nose and all that. I'm talking put me in bed sinus flu. Yeah, I was miserable every time I sniffed up dust, sniffed up pollen, sniffed up dry leaves and stuff from the fall. Oh my God. And by the way, things pollinate in the fall too, so it's not just dried up stuff. Yeah, it was a major issue for me since mid 80s, about 85, 86. Yeah. So, and it got worse with age. Being the workaholic person I was, I'd go home and cook my meals for my kid, But me, I'd take the leftovers to work for my dinner, and I'd eat once a day. And literally, your health is not good if you're not eating proper, right? And I ate proper food, just not enough, not at the right times when you should be eating to supplement your body. So anyway, I lived like that for years. I worked for the trucking company for like 8 years. Uh, so, well, actually, I worked for two. I stopped one and worked for another one in another state. Same job, just different state. And I became the warranty manager after I started, getting everything organized to all the companies, all the departments working together. And we're talking parts, sales, bookkeeping, the front office, the back office, the shop, the body shop, the warranty office, the parts room, all of it. Had to integrate them to work together. So, and then put it on computer. So, I loved that job. I left here where I'm at now and went to another state and went for a different trucking company, a different manufacturer, and then spent a lot of time trying to get back here because I miss home. Which, it became home over life. My real home is in Oklahoma, but now I'm living down by the Gulf Coast. I'm about less than an hour away from the water, so I'm kind of inland, but still deal with them hurricanes just like everybody else does. Lord, Katrina was a mess. But anyway, so that was one of the medical issues I had, and still had the broken body issues. Still being the single mom for my kid. My son was, oh, he was smart as a whip. Yeah. So, you know, he done real good, being a latchkey kid for, when he got old enough. But he learned a lot in school, and then the daycares were teaching daycares. I didn't just drop them off for a babysitter. I made sure that they were learning daycares. And, so that was how our life was, and we enjoyed all the time we could get together. I had to be a mom. Mom came first, but I had to be able to support us too. And I wasn't going to sit there and give up, right? And knowing that I was capable of doing the work. I have to be careful here because I don't want to insult anybody, because I am one that actually got assistance, from time to time. It's just little minutes along the way, but people who are getting assistance usually need it, right? So yeah, I had to get some sometimes when we removed the rest of my teeth, because the teeth from my 17-year-old car accident, they didn't make it. 2 years afterwards, I had 14 caps put in my mouth. I still had the back teeth. The rest of them were caps. They got infected, gingivitis. Oh man, it was miserable. I spent 12 years in pain before I made the decision to go to an orthopedic surgeon, orthodontic surgeon. The tooth surgeon, not the dentist, because I didn't want him to break my jaw. Y'all, I still have a wire right here that holds my jaw together. Yeah, I didn't want a dentist breaking my jaw, so I went to a surgeon and had them, oral surgeon, there it is, that's the name of it, and had my teeth removed. And funny story, I'd been in pain for 12 years, severe pain, to where when I ate a hamburger, I had to cut it up in pieces that I could put behind my front teeth because I couldn't bite into it. That's how bad it was. And when the surgeon woke me up, I'm like, "You're done already?" All right. He says, "Yeah, we've been done. We're waking you up from it now." And I said, "Well, how'd it go?" He said, "When we got in there, your teeth just fell out like pianos, like piano keys." I'm like, "What?" He said, because you didn't use them, because they hurt you so bad to use them, they just fell out. So it was a very simple surgery. But 3 months later, I got dentures and could never really wear them. I have pictures with them, and I tried to wear them for a long time, but they never fit because of my misshaped jaw. When they put it back together, it never fit. So anyway, fast forward. Um, when my son got old enough, he went to work and everything. He had a very hard life. Um, we both did. We both dealt with a lot of stuff, but together, right? He had his issues, I had mine. But together we made it work. And then when my daughter came into the world, she turned 5. I lost my son. He was 23 to a disease called Goodpasture syndrome, and we'll talk about that in another show if people want to have that topic. Which, by the way, if y'all have a topic you want me to talk about, or if y'all want to be a guest on my show, I'm open to that. Right? I already told y'all about my aunt. She's gonna be on my first live show, but if somebody pops up before then, I'm open. Let's do this, right? So anyway, my computer went blank. Okay, so anyway, what's ironic about tonight is it's 3:20 in the morning. This is April 20th, 2023. 16 years ago today is when my son passed. Love you, son. A very strong person. I have my moments. Today's a little emotional. I know he's with the good Lord, so we're good there. He had a very hard life. I have to look at it as good Lord had another job for him, and he's still here. Okay, fast forward. Throughout life, I've had several medical issues. I've, had complete hysterectomy while I was honor student at ITT. I was 8 months away from getting my degree in computer, well, actually web design and stuff like that. They kept changing the thing, what my major was, changing the name of it. I was still doing the same thing, but I was an honor student, and because I had lost all the iron in my blood, I lost my ability to comprehend things. I remember when I was in the hospital, right before they did a complete hysterectomy, I was studying for a test, and the doc comes in and says, "How you doing?" And I said, "I don't know." And he says, "What?" And I said, "I've read this sentence 10 times, at least, and I still can't tell you what the sentence says." And he kind of giggled at me, pissed me off, giggled at me, and he said, "Honey, it's because you have no iron in your body. You're lucky you came in today. You might not have been here tomorrow." Yeah. Great awakening, right? So I went through the surgery and everything, but I've spent 10 years, that was in 13. I spent 10 years trying to regain my comprehension. And I've done really well. I'm proud of myself. I'm one of those people that are self-taught. When I go for a degree or something, it's usually to verify to my prospective customers that I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just talking off the top of my head, which I do know, but I need to have some kind of verification to show that I did know. And, people look at a degree versus nothing a lot better, business-wise. I've been a business owner several times, and being a single mom, you know, I've always had to make sure that my children were fed, roof over their head, taken care of. Um, it's always been on my back because I've been a single mom. That was my responsibility, my priority. Very top. My children always came number one in everything, everything. So, um, I have a lot of experience and know-how. If anybody's interested in asking me a question, see if I know. I can't say I know everything. I'll never say that. I'll be learning to the day I go. But I've helped a lot of people along the way. I'm one of those people that help people without the use of money, because I have none. But I have done my best to pay for, do the right thing, and help others. And I've used that knowledge to do that for a lot of people that are single parents, not just women, but fathers too. So anyway, back to that picture. Okay, I've had one friend just, what? You know, because she hadn't seen me in a while. So I sent her that picture, and she says, no way, she had to come see me. I had another friend that said that didn't look like the same person. And like I said earlier, I'll let that be y'all's opinion, whatever you want. But as you saw on the picture, that picture was the first one where my little turkey neck was hanging down here. Yeah, that was taken on March 3rd. And the second one was taken on April 5th, 33 days later. Now, when I took that one on March 3rd, I had already been on this new regimen I've started. And, oh my God, 18 days. And I've remembered that I didn't take a first day picture. Okay? Took this picture 18 days later. And then the other one 33 days later. To prove that my life has changed, not just my appearance. Okay, so I made a few notes so I don't forget something. All right, let's see. There we go. All right. Considering the life I've had, you know, I've never had a disease, I guess you could say. My son did. I didn't. I've had issues, and the main part has been the mobility issues, the broken body part. I used to tell people, yeah, I'm healthy with a broken body. Well, you know, in reality, not thinking about it, I lied to them and to myself, right? Because over the years, this is where I get into the truth stuff. Over the years, our food, the minerals and vitamins and the things that we need to consume has been taken out of our diet. It's been depleted. And I always say they've been replaced with poisons. Who knows? I just know that we do not get the nourishment we need from the food that we eat. And considering that I ate once a day, I definitely wasn't, even though I was eating good. I mean, steamed vegetables, baked chicken, salads, like to have the the ranch or the Thousand Island on them, but basically everything else was pretty healthy. I don't like fried foods. I do not use a microwave anymore. I stopped doing that a little over a year ago. For those who don't know, microwaves, when let's say I put a plate of broccoli in the microwave to steam, right? Well, the microwave does its job, makes it good and tender, still green, tasty, 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 right? But what happens is the microwave actually scrambles the nutrients to where they're unidentifiable by your body. So when you think you're eating a good meal, a good nutritious meal, you do, but it gets in there and your body says, what is that? What am I supposed to do with that? Right? This happens with anything you put in the microwave because it re-identifies the nutrients. so I stopped using a microwave. So that was one good thing I did over a year ago, but it didn't affect me as far as lose a little weight, which I've gained weight because at some point, oh, 6, 7 years ago, I was taking 20 pills a day. I was literally on pharmaceutical train here, right? 20 pills a day. I don't today. Um, I was not a healthy person like I presumed I was. I was, the older I got, and because of the weight gain from the medication, made me worse with my disability. And then aging did that too. In 13, I classified as disabled, and over the years, maybe fixing to be 60, yeah, fixing to be 60. I don't even think that's real anymore. Um, I am considered disabled, retired, because there's nothing they can do as far as having a surgery or doing something to help me, as far as the broken body part. Now, the medical issues I've had over the times, I've dealt with them because they were something I could do, like complete hysterectomy, removal of my gallbladder. Um, I had become a cab driver in another state uh, after after I quit the trucking job where I hurt my back. It's where I got the damaged and compressed nerves in my lower back, so that didn't help my walking issues either. So that was in '95, and then I went on disability in '13. So I spent many years fighting for that. Um, but I started driving a cab, um, and then one day I had a grandma seizure with the fare in the back seat. Luckily, I had the sense to pull off the road and pull into this gravel parking lot. And the people in, it was a workshop of some sort, and the people in there saw me coming. I done slowed down, so it wasn't a racing car. I done slowed down. I had common sense to do that. But my vision started going like a kaleidoscope, and it scared me instantly, so I did slow down and pull into this parking lot. But I don't remember stopping the car. I was out. The passenger was screaming bloody murder. People on the radio, I had already called them somehow. I had picked up the mic and had called them on the radio, dispatch. Uh, People from the shop ran out and jumped in my window and threw the car into park. Yeah, uh, thank God people were around. I could have hurt the lady. I could have hurt somebody in the parking lot. Could have hurt myself. But I didn't realize that I was having, it was the first time I'd ever had a seizure. Come to find out, it was my morning routine. And it was a good morning routine, except for one thing. Okay, I was eating like 2 bananas, a pint of milk, and then I was taking these vitamin supplements, is what it was, and it had a lot of St. John's wort in it. And for people who don't know, taking good things, taking too much of a good thing can hurt you just as bad as taking one of a bad thing. Okay? St. John's wort, if you get enough in you, it's a possibility. It happened to me. That's why I say possibility. It may not happen to everybody else. But it has a reaction with sunlight. And sunlight had got in my eyes. I started having a seizure, and the first sign of it was the kaleidoscope vision. I mean, 1,000 of the same picture jumping around. Yeah, it was freaking me out. And I wasn't even the one that should have been. It's the lady in the back, when she realized what was going on, freaked out. Me, I passed out. Well, I went into seizure. I woke up in the hospital, and yeah, the first question is, what happened? right? And then when I realized without them telling me that, oh my God, I was driving a cab, I had a fare, is she okay, right? Uh, yeah, it was a major issue. Over the years, they put me on the maximum dose of Dilantin, which is, from what I understand, I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but apparently the maximum dose of Dilantin is for people with epilepsy. I never had epilepsy, and I didn't then. I knew what had happened. I'd had a reaction from having too much St. John's wort in my system, and it reacted with the sunlight. Yeah. I did studies on this. I didn't just assume that. I looked it up. I researched it, and like I told y'all before, I'm a researcher. I see something I want to know, I find out about it, and I do all the self education I can about it. And so yeah, I dealt with small seizures along the way, but couldn't figure out why I was having them. And when I got off the Dilantin, I had to ease myself off of it. Right, it took me good 3-4 months to actually stop taking it, and I had to deplete it along the way and stay at a decent dose for a moment and then deplete some more. And it took me a while to get off of it, and I didn't believe that I should be on it, and that's why I got off of it. But I did it with the care of a doctor here where I'm at now. I left North Carolina, that's where I went, and came back here and did it with the advice of a doctor. Y'all don't do things like this without the doctor's care, advice, supervision, please. So anyway, I still had a seizure here and there, and then discovered that it was my sugar crashing. When my sugar got low, I would go in a seizure. Couldn't understand that, and it didn't happen all the time. But I was a person that already watched my sugar levels. I have a little kit, prick the finger, give the blood to the little machine. It tells me what my sugar level is. I've never had an issue with that until that one day, the first time it happened. I took my sugar right afterwards when I woke up and found out that my sugar was very low. So get some glucose in me, something sweet, and bring my sugar back up. I was fine, and this only happened every once in a while. So once we figured out, I didn't know it was crashing. I just knew it was low by the time I woke up, right? Luckily, I was never behind the wheel. A couple of times I felt it coming on and had time to pull over. Only lasted a couple minutes, I knew to have something sweet with me all the time in case it happened again, things like that. I'm not a person who leaves my house much, so it wasn't me getting on the road every day and risking me and somebody else, right? I tried to make sure I ate right, which I always have. So anyway, fast forward a little more, I finally got my diet right to where I haven't had any more seizures in a very long time. So we're good on that one. I basically just stopped eating, things that weren't good for me. While I ate healthy, that one meal a day healthy, I wasn't beyond picking up a Coca-Cola. I was a Coca-holic. I loved Coca-Cola. Stopped drinking that. Ooh, I think my daughter was 4, and she's 22 now. So, yeah, stopped drinking that. Well, fixing to be 22. But I stopped drinking Coca-Cola, replaced it with water. So that was one of the best things I ever did, because I think that's part of what stopped me from having seizures, because my sugar was leveling out better. Oh, how much time do we have here? Ooh, I done talked my day away. Okay, I don't want to keep y'all here forever. Look, I've had lots of medical issues. Fibromyalgia the last 30 years. That's the most painful thing that I've had to deal with, even with my mobility issues and the structural pain that I have. I had edema in my legs. You could put your thumb on my leg and set it there for a second. It left a dent. It took 3 hours for that dent to pop out. And the pain of it popping out was misery. I mean, tears Oh my God, it hurt. Never took pain pills because that just hurts you worse, right? Didn't want that addiction. Thank God I never had it. Um, yeah. Um, so let me check my list here so I can make sure I get this right. Okay, on February the 13th, I started this new product regimen. And I got with this company because my aunt called me and said, "You're fixing to get a call, take it serious," from my friend Ivan, which I had already heard of him because of past. Uh, so Ivan calls me and he starts telling me about this company called Live Good. And he, my aunt knows I was a business minded person anyway. So when he called me, I was more interested in the health of it. And he says, "You've been taking this other product. I found something better and cheaper." I said, "Well, that's a pretty good product, right? So tell me about it." Well, it turns out this other product, and I'll show y'all this part. Uh, the first product I was taking, it was a 30-day supply, and it came in little tubes for each day, a little thing that you had to open and mix with water. Some people mix it with juice. I preferred water because I'm a water drinker now. But then he tells me about super greens. And I think it's backwards in here. But it's super greens made by Live Good. This is the company I'm talking about. I don't know if I can get it. Here we go. Live Good. Um, I'll show you the picture that has that. In my picture, I made another picture like that, that has my website in it. But anyway, he told me all about these products, and I just couldn't resist. Why? Number one, my product I was already on was costing me $57 a month. Super Greens, more nutrients per dose. It's a 30-day supply. For some reason, it lasts me 31. I'm doing level scoops. The little scoops come out like this. Put in 8 to 10 ounces of water. Shake it up, which I'd use Super Reds and a protein powder. Shake it up to a shake. Oh my God, that stuff is good. And then I take it with a multivitamin that they make. The D3, K2. Remember, everybody needs the D3. They need the D3 to help things function properly in your body. You get it from the sun. If you're not getting enough sun, you're not getting enough D3, right? You need more D3 to help your immune system be stronger. Remember the scamdemic, the shutdown? Everybody's promoting, get that D3 in you, get that D3 in you. Well, the K2 helps it function better, helps it absorb properly, right? So they put that together. And then there's a factor 4 product, is fish oils, just the things that stop inflammation. And inflammation's a silent killer. Inflammation is what causes heart disease, kidney disease, liver disease, and a whole array of other diseases. The inflammation does this, right? So factor 4 relieves the inflammation. I just found out because a friend of mine, I was trying to get her to start on the factor 4. She has a fatty liver, and so you can't take factor 4. You can't take fish oils when you have a fatty liver. So we're working on something else for her. But it's all about getting the nutrients that was taken out of our food. Essential nutrients are brought in through food, through your diet. Your body can't produce them. Like vitamin D gets produced when it comes out from the sun, comes into, it produces it. It helps calcium function properly. Your body creates a lot of the stuff you need if you eat right, right? It still creates it if you don't eat right. It just works harder to do it, and a lot of times you're deficient in it because it's not working properly. But the essentials, those are the things that come from your diet. And most of us, I'm not going to say all, because some people are doing the right thing. Most of us are deficient. Well, Live Good provides all natural, very high quality, all natural organic products. Uh, the Super Reds comes in a thing like this. That's for heart healthy. Why wouldn't I do that? I had a heart attack 5 years ago. Yeah. Clean bill of health from there on, because it was brought on by stress. Um, so I start taking the Super Reds. And what people don't understand too, and I could say this because they say it on their little commercials. Super Beets, that product Super Beets that comes in that little container. Super Reds comes in a container this size. Super Beets doesn't use all organic materials in that. Super Reds does. And I'll go ahead and show this to you. Super Reds, right? Heart healthy. Yeah. The mixture of the Super Greens, the Super Reds, and the protein powder that I take, it's an all plant-based protein powder, right? Glucose-free, vegetarian. Vegetarian can use all of this. I think there's one product that is not vegetarian. I'm not sure. I forgot which one it was, but I'm not a vegetarian, so I don't really pay attention to that. So I do the shake. Sometimes I use their coffee in it. They got an awesome, all healthy organic coffee. Good stuff. Got the espresso flavor to it. Awesome stuff. Very, very good. I mix that in my shake. I am a coffeeholic. I went down from a pot a day to a cup a day. Magnesium at bedtime. Do y'all know this helps sleep? I'm a person who never slept. I'd get an hour and go for 3 days. Been doing that since my son was born. Because I had the psychological thing, if I ever went to sleep and didn't hear what was going on, oh my God, how could I protect my son? So I always did this half sleep thing, this light sleep thing. And over the years, it just gotten to where I didn't care about going to sleep. Only had 1 meal a day. So what I said about being a healthy person with a broken body, because of my heart attack, I imagine y'all are wondering what's up with the raccoon eyes. Remember me talking about the allergies? I don't have allergies anymore, other than itchy eyes. And because I had the heart attack, I'm on blood thinners. They put a stent in, and the medication for the stent has blood thinners. And when I rub my eyes, not scratch. When I rub my eyes, I hit the inside of my nose. It bruises. The blood thinners cause bruising. This is all bruising. Every bit of it. It looks like I'm wearing eyeshadow. It's bruised. Because, why? It's allergy season. It's spring. But the only allergy I'm having is the eyes. The itchy eyes. Yeah. I'm amazed. I don't have allergies anymore. My edema, but you can put your thumb in your leg. Take 3 hours for that sucker to come back out. It's painful. It is gone. I have a fatty tumor on my left side. 3-4 months ago, it's the size of a large egg. Okay, I can't even sleep on that side because it hurts so bad. About a month ago, I realized it's the size of a small egg. Yesterday, I went looking for it. Yes, I had to look for it. It's the size of my thumb. Why? Because I'm putting the essential nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals back into my body by getting on this regimen. As of February the 13th is when I started. I'm getting better sleep. My focus is spot on, y'all. I'm not scattered. I'm not getting angry with stress. I'm clear-minded. I'm peaceful-minded, but focused, can handle all my paperwork and numbers and writing. I'm a writer, right? Before, I could write something and people would have to say, what are you talking about? I knew what I was talking about. They just didn't. Now I can make sense. Yeah, a lot of things have changed. I don't dread getting up in the morning now. Yeah, I still have my mobility issues. 3 months ago, I was looking at a wheelchair in my very near future. I was widening the doors in my home to be able to fit a wheelchair, right? the wheelchair is looking farther away, and it's not because my mobility issues are curing or anything like that, but I'm feeling better. I haven't seen my orchard in a year and a half. I have a fruit orchard in my yard. Haven't seen it in a year and a half, and we just had a hard freeze down here, which is rare. So I decided the other day, well, a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to walk out to my orchard. I didn't get my walker. I always go with my walker. I didn't get my walker. I actually walked out there. Y'all, I couldn't make it back. I had to call my daughter on my phone. Please bring me my walker. She had to help me get up off the ground. But the fact that I made it out there, oh my God, that was a miracle. Fibromyalgia, I had people squeezing my arm for a few days now. I'm not winching. I couldn't hug my own daughter for years now because it hurt to hug. And now I can. Yeah. Energy, I am not crashing. I'm not jittery. I have a natural energy. When I wake up in the morning, I get up. I don't dread getting up. I have this natural energy that just stays, right? And get this. Most of these products I'm taking now, I do the full dose of the super greens and the super reds. Everything else, I'm doing a half dose. Why? Because I don't want to have energy I can't spend because of my mobility issues. But if I'm getting this better, y'all saw the picture. I'll show you again before we close out. But I'm getting better inside and out by putting the right stuff back in my body. Live Good has done this for me. For $9.95 a month of membership, I'm able to get these products at rock bottom prices. When I could buy one of that product I talked about earlier, it's a good product, so I'm not going to say the name. But the cost was $57 a month. With Live Good, I can get 4 products for, it's just a few dollars difference. 4 products for the price of one with the other company. And it has more nutrients. And for me, it's a better product because it didn't have as much as it needed in the other product, even though it was a good product, right? That's why I won't tell y'all the name. But considering that I'm getting this for $18 versus $57, I've done paid for my monthly membership. There's no auto ship in this company, people. You can order when you don't order when you don't, order what you want. Whatever works for you. So you go to my website when I show it to you, and it's livegoodtour.com. Click on products at the top. There'll be a little word that says products. You click on that and see all of these amazing products. I'm taking a multivitamin. Well, I'm taking the men's version because I don't need the iron that's in the women's because I'm postmenopausal. But, they made it to where women could take the men's. Right? Great thing. The people who design this stuff are co-owners in the company. One of them is a nutritionist, and the other one is a Dr. X Pharmacy. I think he said he was a pharmacist for like 15 years, so he knows what to do by using natural stuff that your natural body needs. He's not putting any chemicals and fillers and all this stuff in there. He's making these products according to what the human body needs. I'm healthier. I'm not done yet, but I am a healthier person. I look back at 3 months. Look at that picture. Oh my God. I'll show y'all again, but I'll show y'all the version that has my website in it, so you can write it down. Let me make sure it's right. Oh, wrong one. Found a video I posted on Facebook, and y'all want to try to find me on Facebook, you can. It's Jenn Hill, parentheses, just Jenn. I've been posting all of my improvements for, since I started on Facebook. So if y'all want to, know more without me rattling like I have on the show tonight, you can do that. Hang on, let me switch this around. Let me pause it. Okay, there's my 33-day difference with the dates, but my website's there, livegood.com/justjen. Yeah, write that down. Okay, well, let me tell you what happened to me 3 days ago. Let me pause this and turn this back around. I'll do it. I'll end the show with it here so y'all can get it again. Okay, I've had all these improvements. I am not the same person I was 3 months ago. I am so much happier. I can't wait to see what the new day brings with all these improvements. My tumor's going away. And it's just a fatty tumor. It's nothing serious. It's a tumor. But it went from an egg-shaped size, big egg, thumb size, within 2 months here, y'all. My edema went away. That was unexpected. I never thought I'd be without edema in my legs again. I'm losing weight. Fat's turning into muscle like it's supposed to. My body is functioning properly because I'm putting the right things back in my body. And it's all natural, high quality, organic products. Okay? None of this fillers and chemicals and all the crap you get in other places. When people say they're organic, you have to look at that label. Is it organic real, or is it just a filler that's organic, where they're replacing something that they should have put in there and didn't? These products are putting in what you need. At night, an hour before bed, I take magnesium. I have met a person who is not deficient in magnesium, and magnesium is a very important substance to go into your body because it helps so many different things function properly, right? I hope I told y'all everything. Well, you could go to the products and look. Click products in the top menu, and you'll see all these amazing products. I don't take them all, but that's some of them. That's what I chose to do. I actually contacted the nutritionist who builds these products. They make these products. Her and her husband, who's an ex-pharmacist doctor, right? They make these products. They're doing the right thing for people, for humans. And I can't sing the praises enough. I have come from old lady that just dreaded what's coming to this person who can't wait to see tomorrow and to see my baby, my grandbaby. Oh my God, I'm going to be a grandma for the first time. Yeah. Okay, here's what I found out 3 days ago. I had been promoting this as, you know, I found it. I had made a promise back in November to many people when I was online. We'd watch these videos and I'd make comments because I'm a very vocal person. I believe in conversation over silence, and I'm a very vocal person in comments. Well, everybody was having the same problem I was having. They would advertise all these products that's supposed to help you, you know, get the graphene out of your system, detox, build your immune system, all this stuff, make yourself healthier by taking our products, and then they slap these big old prices on it. Crush our hope, right? People like me can't afford that stuff, right? Oh my God. And so many people were having the same issue I was having, and we had conversations about this, and I made a promise in November. I said, if I found something that helped me be healthier, be stronger, because you got to be stronger for what's coming, people, right? Be healthier, be stronger, be happier. I'm so happy that I feel so good. I haven't felt this good in 40 years. That's saying a lot, okay? 40 years prior to, over 40 years, because my accidents happened over 40 years ago, right? In 81, this is 23, right? Yeah. I can't believe that I feel this way. I don't dread getting up. They're doing the right thing for humanity in creating these products that aren't killing your budget, right? Yeah. Y'all have to go look. Okay, here's what I found out 3 days ago. When I started with Live Good, I've been paying the $10 a month. Well, it's $9.95 a month. You can order when you want. Don't order anything. Order what you want when you want, right? You, as long as you pay your $9.95 a month, you can get these rock bottom prices. You can buy retail without becoming a member. But for me, it works for me to keep the rock bottom prices, pay that less than $10 a month. I'm good. But when I signed in, um, they have an affiliate program. And when I was told, I said, well, they said, well, you have an extra $40? And I said, by chance I do. He says, well, you pay that one time only, never pay it again, you become an affiliate with the company. I'm like, wow, okay, I can do that. I said, I don't know what I'll do with it, but I can do that. And I have been in network marketing before, but it's been so many years, and network marketing just wasn't for me. I never made anything out of it, spent too much time at it, so I paid it, but I just didn't pay attention to it, right? So 2 months here, I've been promoting health products that were working for me, and I kept telling people, it's not about the money here. Why? Because when somebody signs in as a member, I only get 25 cents. So every month that they pay their membership, I get 25 cents. That's it. So I didn't think about, making money at this. And I would tell people, this is about the health, not the money. It's about the health, not the money. Okay, y'all, it still is. But 3 days ago, I got a little training video. I slapped myself silly. I'm like, what? Got a training video in the back office. Got notification that I had a little money on the account. I didn't do nothing to put a little money on the account. Right? Wow. I took that back office training, and found out their affiliate program. I have never, and trust me, I'm a numbers person. I know when I see something good. I just never paid attention to it because it wasn't about the money for me, and it's still not about the money for me. But for anybody who wants to make a good, solid income, do literally nothing and make a little, or do something and make a lot more. This is like, you're going to make something whether you work towards it or not. Take a little longer to make big bucks if you're not doing something. Won't take much to make the big bucks if you do something. Right? It's not hard. It's a very simple process, and it's a very legitimate process. So check that out too. And I say that because when you go to my website, livegood.com/justjen. If you put livegood tour, TOUR.com/justjen, it'll take you to, you can get to the products there too, but it'll also give you a little 5-minute video to explain what Live Good's doing. They're doing the right thing for people. This is not a scam. This is not a pyramid scheme. Nothing like that. They actually will show you what's going on. And let me tell y'all, I got in, maybe 50,000 people were there. Okay, I don't think it was that much, really, 2 months ago. Today, 2 months later, over 200,000 people have joined this company. Thousands per day are joining this company because they see what's going on. Smart-minded people, even dumb-minded people, they see what's going on. One-time investment, and you've got an income. Sure, it's small if you don't do anything with it, but it still grows as you go. So it's not small for long, right? Do something with it. I know there's a lot of people out there that, want the extra income. Yeah. I'm not going to give a number, but trust me, if I work on that end of it a little more, I'm not going to be hurting for much long in the financial world. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a great place to be. So, I hope y'all liked my show. I'm just Jen, and I'm about to sign off, but I'm going to do it showing you my picture again. The one that people say that don't even look like the same person. I'm not the same person. I'm a better person. I found a better me. I'm discovering a healthier me. I am feeling great. And Live Good done that for me. And I will not stop singing the praises of Live Good. And I hope you can find your worth in there. Because I'm sorry. I thought life was just going downhill from here. I'm fixing to be 60. No more. That number is very little for me. I'm so happy to feel so good, and you can too. Please check me out at the Live Good site. I'm going to close with my picture, give y'all time to write it down, for the website to write it down. Y'all have a blessed night. Okay, there it is. My 33-day difference. That's the difference I've had in 33 days. I can't believe it, and I'm looking at it. I'm living it. I just don't, I don't remember the person in the picture with the yellow background. Oh my God, life was miserable at that time, but I just started, I had Live Good in me for 18 days, and I was getting improvements, but 33 days from that, look at the improvement. Yeah. Me and my raccoon eyes because of blood thinners, but hey, we good. I can deal with that knowing how much better I feel. Go to livegood.com/justjen if you want to see the affiliate program, which is freaking awesome. You put tour in there. livegoodtour tour.com/justjen. I know you won't regret it. I haven't, and I'll never look back. Y'all have a blessed evening. See y'all on the next recording, and hopefully a live show soon. God bless. Bye.